no mama. Fuck on no mother. Fuck off. Yo, gatekeeper, play me blood clot, yo.
Suck your mother, slap your mother 1,000,000 times.
Depressed music. Oh Lord, Trauma made another one. DA got no hope.
Depression took it to 10.
Yo Pierre, you wanna cry out here?
When I was a young boy,
You don't have future here. You don't have future. You can never make it. You're supposed to be a dinner man, serving dinner to the students in the secondary school. Because you cannot do basic 1+1. You are here breathing heavy like a dog. Think about your life. You are a failure. You are a failure. You can never make it. You know you cannot make it. You need to be cutting grass, making this place fresh for the actual footballers that want to use this place. You are tired, you are here. What have you done? Useless. Me with my pregnancy, I'm better than you. Idiot.
February, March, April, May, July, September, October, November, Sunday, March, April, May, July, October, January, February.
Give me wife, give me children, give me this, give me that, kill my enemy, kill my enemy, kill my enemy, give me, kill my enemy, give me. Anyone that doesn't want me to succeed, die by fire, die by fire, die by fire, die by fire, die by fire. Give me this, give me that, kill my enemy, give me that, give me this, give me die by fire, die by fire, die by fire, die by fire, give me.
If it's me, your mother, you get a scar on your chest like Saga. She fighting, that's something bad. My thing working. Come through in a beat up Honda. Give one 100 slap like Yonda. Give it the mic and I'm ride with him, cause I spit the fire just like douse him. I'm a Liverpool invader, climbing to the top just like Vega. UV me, nobody can save ya. On the mic, man, I way too major. Shocking MCs like Blanca. I got money in the bank, I'm a banker. You got money in the... Look, pick with the hooks like bullrock. Get the razor jumping like a bullfrog. I've been doing it for more than a while. In the game, I'm a soldier like Gaio. So, cause they're big like Zangief. Dope when you get ever try it. Now you don't wanna get into no big man beef. I'm here, if you want a lyrical. I'm the guy son. Sucking the prestige like a dice. I'm like a big man. If you wanna come on.
If it's top with a thing in your face like what did he say? Yo, I know why I never got the award, cause I'm still putting man up in a hospital ward. If I pull up in a Honda Accord, long clip teeth so big enough to floss with a sword. I don't know why they wanted to Yo, I know why I never got the award, cause I'm still putting man up in a hospital ward. If I pull up in a Honda Accord, long clip teeth so big enough to floss with a sword. Don't know why they wanted the war. I ball out with hooligans scrapping at home and abroad. You went there, you was home with your broad. Tell him I ain't messing when I'm chefing his beef. Good Rams, good to handle the sauce. Big boy set surrounded by 20 dead MCs, feeling like I'm trapped in a morgue. Turn into a corpse, burn man alive with a fantastic four. Would you expect when you man gas up a torch? Sets on my own mic, on my left blade, on my right. Never ever got my back to the door. Luke Skywalks when I come man with force. You don't want me battering. Grab a snake and rile it. Firing so many shows from the top, the ground looks like a gravel pit. Wanna see what I got till I unravel it. Look how they starring, fabbing it. You and I'm backing it. When it gets messy, they don't tackle it. Take who's chain aboard, you ain't having it. Never caught that lamb, but claim you're trapping it. Fool, it's not that in it. You ain't got the belly, you're grabbing it. If I left the money, you're grabbing it. Snakeboard MC. You been in the ground for years with that stacking it. Every year attacking it, that's why I'm busy. Summer after summer, you man know I'm busy. They don't know Dylan. So every MC that I span knows what it's. Yo, live on the.
Yo. Been a hot girl from Paul's Boutique and a slick type heart in my rolled up skirt. bypass round in no industry. Your favorite MC gets swerved like curb. There she thinks she can chat for me. You ain't even a freak, you're just a little dirt. Come against me, you must be absurd. Like I'm the hottest chick in here, no jerk. Who brother you for suck? Your mother them coulda never reached Big B more thorough. I just wanna ball like I need more gala. Or should I be a wife like I need a more seller? We were outside, you was not outside. You snapped the wheel, that is not your right. Said he wants me to be his ride or die, but I'm just a girl, I am not your wife. Raised in the era of Gully and Gaza, so you know me, I could just switch it, reverse and flip it. Thinks that she bad, them girl are just timid. I'm not just bad, me, I'm coming on wicked. But you knew that already. My friend them few, I don't roll with many. I don't trust nice man, but I still love Temmie. Just said hi and I gave him a nasty with it. I got crafty lips, where I fuck up the beat, I get archy with it. I can back my chat like yes, I said it. I got the juice, I'm too acidic. Why does my man think he's the shit? I've saved his name, is weirdo, don't pick. He hits women, you call that a bitch. I'm real from my forehead down to my them girl have a new friend every week. I can't trust it if we ain't 10 years deep. I don't want your man, I heard is a creep. Them man to pictures of feet. Fine babes don't hate, and the hating bitches ain't fine. If he ain't giving me his die, what time? I swear that nigga ain't mine, trust me. Yo, I'm like, trust me. Yo, I'm live, and I just done did it. Do the dance, Mickey bounce with it. I'm live, and I just done did it. Do the dance, Mickey bounce with it. We're live. And
come with it. Whitman. I have to throw me brother. I think they turn it up on your post. Out to the ladies. Beach settings, infinity. Okay, the birthday gang. Okay, Shannon. Out to Amber. I am a money maker, hand to the edge of a money maker. 4 rounds down, you're a money maker. If you're on this thing, money maker. Hand to the air, money maker. 419, money maker. On this thing, money maker. You see us terminal. You see me, you see me. I ain't watching you, I ain't watching her, I ain't watching him. I got to dance and bubble and sing. Terminal 4 with a terminal 3. Terminal 4 with a power goes. When you come to my house, just respect my house. Don't look my house, don't put me out of the house. When you come to my house, just respect my house. Blood clots over them. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Hold on, hold on. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. Hey, sleep up, hold on. Hey, wiggy, hold on. I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. Can I please have your attention? I said this is the captain's weekend, and I'm in the terminal 4. Can I please have your attention? Early.
I'm gonna keep you real. How you make me feel. Boy, you give me chills, baby. I'm gonna break you down. You just drive me wild whenever you're around. standing taller to fill the darkest and the hardest of time. Hope your vibes make sense. Yeah, so and we're making care all the children there, and if required, we'll be on the front line. 'Cause you can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the call me anytime. Lioness is on the rise. Never say never, willingness together to fight and be strong. Once it's for better, I'll every letter and moving right along. Hey, 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 I roll with the punches, accept the changes, work with the formula, do what I have to do. 'Cause you can call me by my name, I am ready to roll. Once the rules remain the same, how the story's been told. Call me anytime. Lioness is all the rise. We got Stella, we got Ames. Call me by my name, by my name.
Hey, look, clear that, hey. The one taking advice like, you know. Look, let me go to my bunty killer guys. Some boy don't like the sunrise start then. Bump up like that, no? I real vice, huh? Blood flower. Stadium! When you ready? Yo! Good morning! Happy New Year! All out is here. This one about Jamaica, Gaza Nation, Alliance Pupanaya. I want to feel like cartel. Some of us heard of them blood clot. They look no one at your blood clot. Do the girl that find the contract. You oh, if you don't catch me, we not do that. Got the cat and me, no, we not do that. God said I can walk the one, he said do that. If I'm if you good, don't judge me, not do that. When I said he's nasty, girl, we not. Run up some nasty, girl. When you got the company, they can't do that. And I don't know for that, but we not do that. Well, no man, no feet, but can't bite, but no feet treat. Why the tell on me, then. General, I remember the son of Lester. That's a lesson. Well, if I want all the bruisey work, get some people that boy, I'm man not perfect, get some boys and girls. Hello, yeah. Well, tell them all the fears and them all the finger. Remind me of the mention. He and his guy, everybody and them brown yourself. Well, why come a brother, no from and no God? I spread rumors about Shelly South. Shelly say you're not here. I come in camping and I learn nothing. Oh my God, don't bring a drink, I'll send them. What is boy? Tell them the last Mike. Tell them of the fears and them of the fever. Remind me of the this is the diva. He and his guy, and the man is every person and the bullet and the treasure. Level. All our people are going to celebrate cartel freedom now. Give me this, please. It's a happy New Year. We envision this moment, you know. Long time, you know. You see, all of the people that were in hold the faith and know that God is great. Say, God is great. God is great. Happy new life. Them try to take your life and God give a brand new one. Brand new one. Respect my father. Brand new year. I mean. Brand new life. Brand new success. You are phenomenal. Yes, sir. I remember when Ron Butler brought him. Yeah. And I said, this man is a lyrical genius. Enough producer, gal and boy, never believe us. And now, improve that He is the Father. Dancehall Pharaoh.
Remember.
Listen to me. And I don't want you to feel like you are taking nobody's throne. You built your home.
Yes.
Independently. The hungry man, Ronya, will never sign to an international label and sell gold and silver for me in prison. A king has risen. Yo!
And we learn from the best. We learn from the best. Remember that.
Yo, I'm so happy and elated today. I just want to say thanks, Jamaica, to give us the support, to support the youth them with talent. All of the people that will believe in a faith and hope is the antidote to cope. Don't sell your soul. Heart and soul is the goal. See the man, yeah? I hear them saying, the world boss. So, without further ado,
Yeah, my father.
give me again. Look into my eyes, tell me what to feel. Can you feel my pain? Am I not enemy? You must have the pain. It's a really bad. The only friend I know.
It is friend I have.
Want to kill and give you the originality. What's a shot of your respect and of equality? It's a good opinion, it's a good equality. Any girl them say them love me personality. You go for me now, people for nationality. Booking money, but we not about the vanity. Tell a facile and double the animosity. Whenever come, punch up. None of bad man, so me no friend.
Yes, sir.
Me love you. Do it to
Yeah,
you.
my father.
Do it to you.
Yeah, my father.
You mean Happy New Year? G Block is here. Anyway, you mean? Come on. Man, a bad man, so me no friend fish. Lord. Walk on. Come on. Y'all got 10 of the Benz like Spragger. One bag of weed and bomber clock crapper. One bag of gal like Shabba. Lord. One bag of gal like get dagger. Lord. Lick the gal them with the hammer. Lord. Make the gal bar for the mama. Lord. Make a rascal ball out. Jaja. Raw. So walk on, man. Was popping. Yes, G Blockery up in this, you hear me? Get the fat gal them some cockery, you me? Just me that, oh, man, days. So walk on, man. What's popping, man? What you telling me? Yeah, man, how's January treating you? Come on, come on. Oh, man. 1 sec, yeah. Give me 2 seconds and I can read out the register. Yeah? So man, we got the people them in the place, man. I mean, number one in the building. Who's that man like John Blood Clot? How are they? I mean, let them know where them started. You see it? I mean, come on. Yo. Yo. Man, we got yourself out tight, J Dizzle. There, I mean. Yeah, man. Hey, listen. Yo. Yeah, man, the TikTok's picking up now, you know. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tick, tock, tick, tock. I know the ticking, the talking, the timely. How you mean? Yeah, man, we got over 1K on TikTok now, you know. Yeah? Yeah, man, we got a video that's going. We got a TikTok video going viral. And let me snap it in the spinal. Man. Yeah? Alright. Mad. Shout out J Dizzle and John Old type man like Justice, you know. Hey, what about Justice? What you saying? Oh, mate. My clock phone's ringing, man.
Hey, stay there for 1 sec, yeah? Hold on. Hold on. I'm like, nah. I'm like, yeah. Boy, G block, hold on. Hey, Velamus, hold on. I'm like, can I please have your attention? I said, this is the captain speaking. And I'm Mr. Terminal 4. Jeez, man like justice, you know. Hey, big up your blood clot self, man. Hold tight there, block. There you are. Yeah? Come on. Hold tight there, block. There you are. What you mean? Big up. Who else is in there? Hold tight, damn, son. Oh, go on. What you saying? I said, damn, son. Oh, mate. Who else is in there? Matt, information, see Frizzle, you know. I want them feel like. That is a thing what we like. You know, take battery lights and give us a flashlight. You will go, that's all your life, baby, that's right. How you mean? You keep your something tight. You give me the tequila light night. Mad. Jeez. Yes, we got unknown X, you know. Walk on. Yeah, man. Yeah. Alright. Soundless banana camp. Mad. Wife for the banana. How you mean? Pop me banana, you can't see no mango. Get it? Mango. Oh no, so they think go. G block. You never know. How you mean? G blizzle. One sec. Pulling up now still. I got some business to take out. Tell you what, actually. Let me turn around so I'm facing the way I want to duck out. Mate, I just had a big ass bowl of soup. 2 dumplings in my soup. You see? How you mean? 2 dumplings in my soup. Get the crowd jumping in my soup. How you mean? When a bad man say we not afraid fish like so I'm just parking up. Hold on. Done. I'm like, no. Boy, G block, hold on. Yeah, alright, go on. Let me get through this register. Hold tight, MC Anthony, there you are. Walk on. Yeah, man. Smooth up to fucking Umbongo. Waste, man. Hold tight, Quest. Hold tight. I'll be like, 2 chicken rings and the fried rice. I swear it's free. Actually, it's free, innit? I'll be like, 3 chicken wings and the fried rice. Hold tight, we, man. Girl, let me free, man. Mad. Alright, well, there's bad people watching, yeah, but like 8 people typing. You are mad still. You know why it's mad though, yeah? Cause I be like 3 chicken wings and the fried rice. I be like I mean, you know what's mad, yeah? Check this, yeah? You know, I've downloaded this inquiry before and tried to read it out on G-Block, yeah? And these man didn't give two shits about this inquiry to do with the grooming gangs. How about that? Huh? How about that? How you know when it comes to the so-and-so report and the so-and-so report? Yeah, you know who's on that. Yeah. That's me. BIGGZIA. Coming with a nice, coming with a lovely. F to the A to the C to the T. You get me? Slap them in the head top. How you mean? Mad. How you mean? You don't know about them bars. Man said F to the A to the C to the T's. Facts. Huh? Yo. Yeah, but it's crazy how these men are doing backflips talking about, I want an inquiry for the grooming gangs things like Conservatives. 30p Lee was the chairman of Conservatives at the time. Kemi Badenoch was in the Home Office at the time. Yeah. Or in at least the Conservative government at the time. Yeah. So if they had 14 years and didn't implement any of the findings from what the original inquiry came up with, why are they calling for a next inquiry? It don't even make sense. Right? First of all, yeah, the people that really do care about this shit should be saying, like, brother, yeah, you man mad talking about inquiry now. Like, yo, we had an inquiry time ago and you ain't even implemented any of the recommendations in the first place. Let alone have an inquiry. Which we need to have another inquiry. Implement the first recommendations first. And I'm you lot won't like the results of that grooming gangs, independent grooming gangs inquiry. I would advise you to download it and read it, yeah. But like, obviously, you're gonna be unhappy when you read it, though. Still, yeah. Man, all right, man. Listen, yeah. I got something to do in a sec, still, yeah. So, this in it, let it. Let it play.
Rightly point out Elon Musk is an American citizen and perhaps ought to focus on issues on the other side of the Atlantic. But look, the grooming issue is a very serious issue. We've already had inquiries into Telford, into Rotherham. We've had a local inquiry commissioned by Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, into the situation here in Greater Manchester, which includes Oldham. We've had the National Child Sexual Exploitation Inquiry in 2022, which the government is seriously considering, a long list of recommendations that was made. There comes a point where we inquiries.
Yo. So I swear someone tried to tell me yesterday that there was no inquiry about the Oldham thing, and I was like, the Manchester inquiry includes Oldham. You know what I'm saying? Mad. I be like, free chicken wings and a fried rice. I be like,
and had Elon Musk really paid attention to what's been going on in this country, he might have recognised that there've already been inquiries. What we need is justice for the victims.
Here to that.
And we need to make sure that the criminal justice system follows up and makes sure that these atrocious things are never able to happen again. As you rightly point out, Elon.
Hey, pause. Let me just hold that right there. I'm not sure that there's anything in there that any of the other wing guys are going to be able to go against. You hear me? Like, I don't know what he said that any of them man could go against. Like, so there's been an inquiry. The government at the time hasn't implemented any of the recommendations from the inquiry. If that government has, why are you not asking this government to implement the recommendations that the previous government was supposed to implement in because of this inquiry, which obviously in turn is going to help future victims or prevent there being more future victims than there would be without the said implementations, recommendations implemented. You know what I'm saying? How you mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, me. Yeah, man said pick a wing, you know. Pick up your wing and fly. How you mean? Yeah, but they man can't fly, cuz. They only got one wing, cuz. They go in circles. They go in circles, cuz. Let it play.
So now Donald Trump will be installed for the second time in the White House. But the person that we're really talking about a lot from the other side of the pond is not Donald, but Elon, as in Musk. This week, the tech multi-billionaire, almost trillionaire Elon Musk posted a series of messages on his social media site, X, formerly known as Twitter, accusing the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, of failing to prosecute gangs that systematically groomed and raped young girls. That's when he was head of the CPS. Now, first of all, it's wrong, but also, why has he got it in for Keir Starmer repeatedly? Musk has also said that former Women's Minister Jess Phillips deserves to be in prison over her failure to launch an inquiry, and West Streeting has since invited Musk to roll up his sleeves and work with us against the gangs. He's also argued that rape gangs were allowed to exploit young girls without facing justice during Sir Keir's time as the Director of Public Prosecutions. But why does he feel, as in Musk, the need to get so involved? Why are we such low-hanging fruit for Elon Musk? We know that he's going to support, he's promised to support Nigel Farage with money, but even Nigel Farage had to rein him in today, or yesterday rather, by saying that actually when Musk called for the release of Toby Robinson from jail, that was going too far. He didn't put it quite like that, but he basically said, I agree with a lot of stuff that Musk says, but some of it I disagree with. So what is it about Elon Musk and Britain? And by the way, we're not the only country in his sights. He's also gone for the German government of Olaf Scholz. He's openly supported the AfD, the Alternative for Germany party from the far right, in the forthcoming elections. He's even written an editorial in the German equivalent of the Telegraph, the Die Welt newspaper, very respected conservative paper, which the fact that he's been allowed to write that editorial has got people up in arms about all this. So how do you deal with the problem called Elon Musk? Do you tackle it head on? Do you ignore it as the time?
Oh shit, I wasn't even speaking, my bad. My bad. I was on mute, yeah? Sorry. I was saying, yeah, that Elon Musk, Keir Starmer should not entertain Elon Musk or any of the rhetoric that he's trying to come out with or get into a back and forth with him, because Elon Musk has got everything to win and Keir Starmer's got everything to lose from this back and forth, so it's not worth his time. He's got too much to concentrate on within the government. You get me? Like, there's so much mess that's been left in place, but they're having to take the blame for, because it's strange. It's strange, you know. You know what's mad, yeah, about this situation here, yeah, is that a lot of these people that are blaming conservatives, blaming Keir Starmer for the issues to do with what's happening with the government, voted for conservatives or didn't open their mouths for 14 years about the conservatives. You get me? Yeah? I would say far and few between, yeah, start saying the conservatives are left wing. Yeah? But that ain't even a complaint. It's just like the conservatives are left wing. What the fuck does that even mean? You get me? But go on, lettif, playeth, Maximus.
Do you give him do something slightly more robust. Let's speak to John McTiernan, political strategist for Burson and former political secretary to Tony Blair, and Sir Craig Oliver, partner at FGS Global Consultancy, former Downing Street director of comms under David Cameron when he was Prime Minister. Good morning to you both and Happy New Year. Let's start with you, John. How would you deal with Elon Musk?
Oh, I'd set up a Musk rebuttal unit in number 10, to be honest. When people tell lies about you, you have to tell the truth about yourself, and you have to do it in a way that dominates all the channels. So you can't stand back and have slanderous accusations made against Jess Phillips. Elon Musk accused her of being a rape, genocide apologist. Everybody knows.
Which is outrageous. And completely outrageous.
It's untrue.
It's
totally untrue,
yeah.
and it's an attack on her character, her politics, her career, everything she's done. I would say that the government should back her in taking legal action about that. I think you should. I think the lies about Keir, I think the Prime Minister should probably be above that. But there needs to be a counter narrative. We know what the problem with child sexual abuse is. That one, the victims were not trusted, were not listened to by police. Like 1 in 3 victims of child abuse, according to the NSPCC, don't talk about it. Wherever it's happened, and we also know it is men. The problem is men. Men commit child sexual abuse, and a lot of child sexual abuse is domestic. We should talk more about it. We should prosecute the police. Keir changed the system to trust the victims to take that. But the government has to respond to this.
And they're not doing enough as far as you're concerned.
Well, look, you can't respond to a bully by going, "Hit me again."
Okay.
Yeah, we're a country, and only 14-16% of the country, the UK voters, trust and support Elon Musk. All governments have to pick fights and stand and fight, because you won't fight for yourself. Will you fight for the people of the country? So I think it's time to stand and fight.
So, Craig, is the government doing enough to rebut Elon Musk?
I totally understand what John's saying, but I think the approach that Keir Starmer's taking is pretty much the right one. I'm reminded of the George Bernard Shaw quote, which is, "Don't fight a pig, the pig likes it, and you get covered in mud." And I think that's the problem for Keir Starmer at the moment, is if you put energy into this, you end up magnifying and amplifying it with somebody who's prepared to go into a kind of arms race in terms of that fight. That doesn't mean to say that you can't have people who are out there, like well-known backbenchers going out and making your case. But I think as Prime Minister, you've got to rise above it and hope that he moves on to something else. I was just looking at his Twitter feed today, and he's now moved on to something called Grok, which is an AI platform, and he's obsessed by that. And you have to get pretty deep into his Twitter feed now, or X feed as we must now call it, before you get to this. I suspect he's probably moved on. It's awful, it's terrible, but it's not a good idea to engage in a fight with him over it.
But I guess that's what John was saying as well. You have a Musk rebuttal unit, but you don't necessarily get the main man, as in Keir Starmer, involved in it.
Well, I wouldn't use huge amounts of number 10 resources doing this. I think the danger is you allow it to be magnified and amplified as an issue, and it distracts you away from it. Yes, you should have people who are on the back benches, who you use for these kind of battles, who go on programs like this, who make the point that Keir Starmer's got a proud record in terms of fighting child sexual abuse, and certainly Jess Phillips does too. But you just don't get involved in the fight, because if you give energy to it, this is what they want.
John?
Look, I think that's a very traditional and response to a crisis and crisis comms, and understand why Craig would be advising it. This is an intervention in British politics. It's not simply somebody who's got the wrong view. It was sparked when Elon decided to back the racist rioters, the rioters who Keir jailed so quickly, and I think that may well have angered him. But this is part of a political project, a right-wing.
The racist rioters, eh? The racist rioters. Let it play.
A political project which involves the AFD, which involves reform, and obviously there's been some distancing of it, backing Tommy Robinson, who is correctly in jail. The rule of law's put Tommy Robinson into jail. You can't have your country.
A right-wing alliance with the AFD and Reform Party, eh? Oh, did he also say that the law put Tommy Robinson into jail? Strange. Let it play.
country's reputation defined in this way by a billionaire who shapes opinion. He's got a platform that shapes discourse. You have to respond to the shaping of the political discourse. Otherwise, why are you in politics? At some point, you do have to stand and fight. And I think this is one of them, because it is a racist rhetoric to legitimate extreme right-wing positions that there is such a thing as a problem with Pakistani grooming gangs, when 92%, according to the Home Office, 92% of child sexual abuse in Britain is done by white men.
I mean,
Whoa. He said it's a racist accusation to call it a Pakistani problem, yeah? Because 92% of it is done by white men. Home Office stats, yeah? Okay. Wow. Interesting. Let it play.
Craig, do we have a particular problem with Elon Musk? I remember we were agonizing about Russian bots getting in on Facebook and trying to influence the Brexit campaign, etc., etc. But I mean, here we've got a bloke with 220 million followers on a platform that he owns, and more importantly, seems to have still the ear of the next president of the United States, has promised to fund, one of our political parties, Reform UK. I mean, this is more than just someone, with a loudhailer on his own platform. This is a considerable political influence in our country, isn't it, potentially?
I think none of us are disagreeing that this is disgusting. It's terrible. Elon Musk has retweeted a picture of Keir Starmer saying, I support child rape, or I facilitate child rape. It's dreadful. It's terrible. The point is, are we in a situation where most right-thinking people are sitting there going, I tell you what, I think that Elon Musk, he's got a point. I actually don't think most people in this country are. They know exactly what's going on. They know that he's an agitator. And what do we know about agitators is they love it when people fight back and engage with them in that fight. The question is, what is the right way to deal with this? There are more than enough people going out there like me, John, even your editorial stance of your program, which is saying this is disgusting and wrong. There's more than enough people going out there doing that. Should our Prime Minister be engaged in this and doing that fight? No, I don't think he should, because I think he will just get dragged further and deeper into the mire, and he's got bigger problems that he needs to be focused on, and he should allow other people to make that argument for him.
And what about Musk's power in Washington? I mean, it is possible that in a forthcoming trade negotiation, even if he dials it down on X, he'll be whispering into Donald Trump's ear, or maybe even into Peter Mandelson's ear, the new ambassador, saying whatever he's going to say. I mean, this is something, again, how do you deal with a kind of free, radical, rogue billionaire stroke trillionaire agent like Musk when it comes to actual policy, let alone what he says on a public domain?
I think that the only thing that you can do is to not give him more energy. Don't fight him on his battleground and his terms. And I think that the reality is that the reason like somebody like Peter Mandelson has been made ambassador to Washington, D.C. is because I think Keir Starmer believes that he's got the capacity and ability to open up channels to Donald Trump and sophistication to make arguments to him. Look, we will see where Elon Musk is in 6 months' time. There's plenty of people saying, look, he's already irritating the president of the United States, and he's not going to, that the Doge isn't going to actually work as a government department, and that actually that this may all be a bubble. My worry.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to cut that video short still, yeah. I'm going to run this last video. Once that next video is done, I'm out of it still, man, because I actually need to do something still. So, let it.
Right, warning. Nigel Farage has a big problem on his hands.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, just pause there still. Remove that. Grab it there, hold on. I'm like, nah. There we go.
Nigel Farage has a big problem on his hands, and that big problem is Tommy Robinson. How he negotiates this in terms of the reform-based support for Tommy and his desire to professionalise the party may be make or break for Reform UK and Nigel Farage. So let's get straight into the interview where he talks about Tommy, Elon Musk, and the future of the party.
Post reforms East Midlands Conference this evening in Leicester. GB News' political editor Chris Hope was with Nigel Farage earlier in Leicester ahead of the conference.
Now is Nigel Farage, the leader of Reform UK. Nigel Farage, a poll today giving you 120 MPs if there's an election right now. There is one for 4.5 years. Is the next election nearly in the bag? I mean, these are big improvements on where we were back in July. You got 5 MPs.
Yeah, I mean, we're a good 50% up on where we were on July the 4th in terms of percentages. Another 50%, and we'll win the general election.
So why is that? There's a tipping point, is there, in our system which gives you that majority?
So first past the post is a nightmare for a smaller party. I mean, every Reform MP has over 800,000 votes behind them. Every Labour MP, 34,000 votes. I mean, it's ridiculous when you look at it. But think about it. The Labour Party got a third of the vote and 2/3 of the seats. So there comes a moment when even under first past the post, it flips the other way. Now, we're not there yet. But the reason this MRP poll is 50 seats up from the one before is the timing of the field work that was done. We've got momentum.
Up until December, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and you know, frankly, the last 2 weeks of the year were phenomenal for this party. 50,000 people joining, paying their money in the last 2 weeks of the year. We are the conversation that is being had by millions of people up and down the country, and you're beginning to see results of that.
And that's true. And Farage is really great and has been great at creating momentum, energy, excitement, opposition to the mainstream duopoly. And if Labour don't up their game, that momentum will continue. I think much of the momentum comes from just how much people hate Labour and just the opposition to Labour in the country and just how bad they are at communicating and fighting back against right-wing media. They need to up their game and present what they're actually doing and achieving and their goals and just keep hammering it, have a consistent message. But they're not doing that. So you're going to see an increase in momentum. Where that will peak is a question, I think maybe next summer. A lot can happen in that time, but the bigger question, I think, for Farage that is going to keep him up at night is Tommy Robinson. And he is a massive figure on the far right. A lot of the Reform base will support him, do have support for him. And it's going to cause potential fractures in the party, like with UKIP when it went too further to the far right. And we may see history repeat itself. So let's continue.
165 or 166,000 members. Labour's in your sights. When will you overtake Labour's?
Oh, goodness, what a ridiculous question. I have no idea. I mean,
it's speculated.
If you'd said to me on the 1st of December that we'd be 120,000, I'd have struggled to believe you. And here we are at 166,000. So for the minute, it's got a life of its own and we'll enjoy riding the wave.
There's a late New Year's party feeling here in Leicester for your rally tonight. But do you worry that the party pooper could be the person who may be your biggest saviour a week ago, Elon Musk? You called him a bloody hero on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
You said you were expecting a reasonably sized donation. Do you still think that? He's saying remarks now attacking Britain, supporting Tommy Robinson. Is he now political kryptonite to you?
Well, he's attacking the leadership of Britain. I mean, he's saying Britain's been terribly badly led and that the grooming scandal, the mass rape scandal, which has resurfaced, and transcripts of what was said in court have been online, and I recommend you at home don't read them. You won't sleep at night.
So just a quick comment on this. There was an independent inquiry in 2022 which outlined a detailed 47-point recommendations and suggestions that the Tories completely ignored. They didn't enact a single one of them. So when Kemi Badenoch as well says there needs to be an inquiry, we've already had it. It mentioned Oxford, Rochdale, and had a clear plan how we can tackle this. But the problem is they don't want to tackle it because it's very potent political capital for them. They can just run on it and be like, look, the grooming gangs. So they don't want to solve the problem. Often they don't want to solve these kind of problems because it's very useful, like immigration, stop the boats. Rishi Sunak knew exactly what he was doing. Tory party knew they couldn't reduce immigration, but they kept on making promises. It's very potent political capital to run on this kind of thing. It's very emotive. And again, Tommy Robinson, the far right, they love this stuff because it taps into their narrative, their racist, essentialist narrative about grooming gangs. Whereas, as the inquiry found out, most grooming gangs are in fact white. But they don't like to talk about that because it doesn't fit the narrative.
And so, yes, he is attacking the leadership in Britain. He's very supportive of me. He's very supportive of the party. He sees Robinson as one of these people that fought against the grooming gangs. But, of course, the truth is, Tommy...
He just sees it so uncomfortable talking about him because he knows he's potentially the biggest threat to Farage's success and professionalising the party.
Robinson's in prison, not for that, but for contempt of court for the third occasion. But I mean, equally, there are people in Britain who think that Robinson is a political prisoner. That's the narrative that he's pushed out. That's how he earns his living, but it isn't quite true.
Would you accept Robinson as a member of your party? You quit UKIP over the association with him last time.
No. Look, Robinson has been to prison many, many times for many, many things. Mortgage fraud, passport problems, you name it. He's got his own campaign. We are a political party aiming to win the next general election. He's not what we need.
So what does Farage mean by that? Well, we have to go back again to 2009 when the BNP disbanded and Nick Griffin himself said, we need to moderate our language and professionalise the party. Then Farage comes in, doesn't he? He says, I single-handedly got rid of the BNP. What did he mean by that? There was a subtext to that. It may seem like, oh, he just got rid of them. But beneath that, the message was, we are going to moderate our language. We're going to use dog whistles and we're going to use euphemism to have essentially the same point of view, but we're going to sanitize it and create plausible deniability. And this is why Farage hates Tommy Robinson, because he's so open and explicit with his message. I'm sure if you sat them both down and asked them, they would agree on a lot. But because Farage is very aware of his language, he'll talk about taking back England. He'll talk about cultural Christianity and, losing our towns, all these kind of dog whistles that hint at something more toxic, but he can't say it explicitly. But Tommy will. He'll just go mad. So that's why he's got an opposition to Tommy, because he's seeking to moderate his language, mainstream these radical views. And that's why he has so much contempt for him, because he's like, this guy is a thug. He's got no discipline. He's got no consistent messaging, or he needs to learn the art of the dog whistle. But he isn't intelligent enough to do that.
Musk comments, though, about Keir Starmer as DPP, about Jess Phillips. These are angry remarks on Twitter. These are your MP colleagues in Parliament. I mean, how will you face these people when you go to Parliament? These are a guy you're backing is making. I'm
sorry. For Jess Phillips to say there's no need for a public inquiry, there really is.
So you're backing one?
There really is. And then for Kemi Badenoch to say there must be a public inquiry when the government she served in refused to give us one, just about sums up where British politics is. It is a uni-party. There is little to choose between Labour and Conservatives. I want a full public inquiry with the glare of publicity. People need to understand the extent of what went wrong in so many towns and cities across our country.
Is he helping you already, Elon Musk, with the data work he told you about in Mar-a-Lago, or even financial support yet?
Oh, he's helping us all right.
How's he helping you?
He's helping us because he has given us an understanding of how they did it in America, and that's very useful to us.
Is that staff as well?
It's a mixture of things.
So what's he doing?
It's a mixture of things as to how he fought that ground campaign for the Republicans in the key states, the 7 key states, and that was the task that he picked up. So we've learned a lot from that. He will help us enormously because he's a hero figure, especially to the youth, who really do admire this man. And if it comes to him helping us financially, that's fantastic.
He's a hero figure, despite saying again, free Tommy Robinson. There's a problem there.
Different human beings have different points of view on different things. That's fine. I'm relaxed about it.
When you say he's helping you, does that mean that some people from Trump and
he may be relaxed about it, but figures like Paul Thorpe, who is a prominent figure on the far right in the UK, aren't so much. And Farage is ever the pragmatist. He knows what he needs to do to get into power. He has to compromise like any politician has to. But you have naive people on the right who are just like, well, doesn't like Tommy Robinson. Disagreement, therefore, no support. And Paul Thorpe is like that. And it's great because it's figures like that that undermine Nigel Farage greatly, more than I could ever do. And we need to support Paul Thorpe in his project because, again, this infighting, this incoherent, inconsistent ideology is prone to self-destruction. We see it, fascism parties, they don't last that long. BNP, EDL, UKIP, they are prone to self-destruction. And it's a question of when, not if. Because it's going to splinter off, Tommy's going to undermine it, and where will we be then? Maybe there's a new party. Again, you see Ben Habib left. Already, you've got, again, people want mass deportation, the Tommy thing. Will they be able to put their differences aside and go forward? I don't think they will. It remains to be seen. So, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Troglodyte warning. Today I'm going to go over Paul Thorpe's video about Elon Musk's tweeting support for Tommy Robinson and how this could cause some problems for Nigel Farage. So let's get straight into the video.
So welcome back everyone, a new year, new hope, and at long last it's happening. It's here, the time has arrived. Yes, it's Tommy time. After the world's richest man and probably only second to his friend Donald J. Trump when it comes to influence, has publicly backed and supported not only our Free Tommy campaign, but Tommy the man himself. You see, we all knew this was coming, and this is just the start. The truth and good will always conquer evil, and it's just a crying shame. No, it's an embarrassment that it's taken an American to join Tommy and take the lead in saving the United Kingdom.
Isn't Elon Musk a South African immigrant? So he is an American now, because I thought you were opposed to immigration. Also, again, the infighting with MAGA, with the H-1B visas that are used to exploit tech workers. Which one is it? Are they for immigration or against it?
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Where are the men and women of steel and courage in this country? Where is the spirit that won us 2 world wars? Where is the will and the...
It's so ironic because Elon Musk is a notorious neo-Nazi. When he bought Twitter, he reinstated neo-Nazi accounts and he signal boosts neo-Nazi accounts. He follows Nazis, he retweets them, he agrees with their talking points, and he is unequivocally far right. That's why he supports Tommy Robinson. So, the fact that Paul calls himself centrist, which is insane, why does he support someone on the far right now all of a sudden when he's not far right? Again, there's no consistency, it's incoherent, and he would completely, if you were to present him the evidence of Elon Musk's support for neo-Nazis, what would his response be? I think it'd be interesting. I think he would just deny it, disavow it, but again, that's all they do is deny and disavow reality.
Determination to ensure that our women and children's futures are safe and bright. Today, as we start the year 2025.
By signal boosting and getting support from a Nazi.
As our mainstream media and politicians literally cower behind their desks and their microphones. Tommy had stood alone in his attempt to save our country from the evil within.
I know what's gone on.
Evil within. Again, this essentialist language of Muslim grooming gangs are inherently evil. And he says he's not far right, he says he's not racist when he has far right racist views that see people. Again, white grooming gangs are the majority. Does he talk about them? No. Does he racialize it in terms of their skin color? No. Does he say they're evil? Well, I'm sure he maybe would, but inherently evil? Would it link it to his culture, his nationality, their race? Of course he wouldn't. So why does he do it with Muslims? Because he is racist, he is far right. It's that simple. It's that clear cut. Just because he denies it, it doesn't mean he's not.
Previously, in my previous prison sentences, I wrote a letter to my wife, and it was a detailing letter. Yeah.
You all right? It's all right. This is a letter to your wife from prison. What did you say?
To make sure they understood why I do what I do. And it's me believing that the worst will come.
That you will die in jail.
The worst will come, and I want my children to know that that I haven't, At this point, I know what they're going to do. What I believe they're going to do, and that I know no one can tell me why I was brought to that prison only. No one can tell me. So I know intentionally, and previously I've been locked in rooms with Muslims in prison. So I believe that. And then in that first week in the block, I'd then been told I'm getting moved. So I said to my wife, I'm getting moved, but nothing from the outcry outside, from Lord Pearson, who's a lawyer in this UK, making comments to make sure I'm safe. I knew that nothing had been done to do that.
So you're sat down writing your letter to your wife and your children, and what are you telling them?
That I know by doing what I do that that moment will come, and I know that, and I've chose that.
And you want your children to know that you didn't choose it over them.
So I detailed to my wife that it's not about them. It's not about our children. It's about every child, everyone's. I'm not apologizing.
So why doesn't he talk about white grooming gangs then? If it's about every children, why focus on specifically Muslims when the majority is white? Why bring race into it? Because every culture, every race, every ethnicity partakes in this crime. Why make it a racial thing? It's because he uses this as a wedge to attack Muslims. He's far right, he opposes Islam, and again, he's playing the victim here. I'm sorry, you're in prison, you're a criminal. Yes, you should be protected, but you think you should get special treatment because you're a criminal? Do everyone else get the same treatment? Or just because you're a celebrity, you should get special treatment? No. You will be treated like every other prisoner. So, again, he's crocodile tears. He's, again, like he's making a sacrifice. He's making a lot of money. Yes, he's in prison, but because he's committed crimes. Again, he thinks he's above other people when he is a criminal himself. Again, it's the victim mentality of, oh, I'm being persecuted for seeking the truth. No, you are selectively focused on certain people who commit a crime whilst not focusing on the majority, which is racist.
Apologising because not for 1 minute I'm sorry for what I've done. I'm apologising for what it's caused.
But now, at last, finally, he has allies, strong allies, and there will be plenty more.
Strong. Two weakest men on the planet. Sorry, egos, massive. Musk is a ketamine addict. He is incoherent. He has no values except money. He doesn't care about the working people of America. He just wants to consolidate power for Twitter. He's a welfare queen. He relies on subsidies and handouts from the government. And he's just not a nice guy. I mean, the way past partners have spoke about him and the accusations of sexual misconduct. He revealed his penis, allegedly, to a woman, said he would give her a horse. This man is unstable. And the same with Donald Trump. All the accusations about him. These aren't moral people. These aren't good people. They're establishment. You couldn't get more establishment than Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, and the richest man on the planet. But somehow, these are the anti-establishment guys. Somehow, these are the guys that are going to make working class people's lives better. Objectively, they are not in any way. They're going to increase inequality, consolidate wealth, consolidate power, make sure that there's no regulations on big tech. But try and tell people who support Paul Thorpe this. They just don't believe it. They live in a different world.
In time, trust me. For this is just the beginning. The question is, who's going to be next to step up to the plate? Who'll be big enough to stand up and fight for our country?
Big enough to have, all this. I mean, so many people have this like kind of, oh, well, we're the alternative, we're the, far right, we're sticking it to the establishment. You are the establishment. Nigel Farage is a wealthy, privately educated millionaire who is part of the establishment. He's part of the business establishment. He's supporting farmers, some of the most wealthy landowners in the country. These are the establishment, and they don't care about the working people. It's fake populism that does not and will not bring up the working classes. It won't. They want to cut public spending. They want tax cuts for the wealthy. They want to cut regulations. It will only help the people at the top and harm the people at the bottom.
History will be their judge. And whilst this Labour government...
I agree. History will be the judge. In 20 years' time, when we look back at this, we'll be like, oh yeah, like the same with Iraq War. I think that's a great example. People all against it now, but at the time, people were really for it. And history, the left were vindicated. And in 20 years' time, we will look back at this time reform, maybe a little bit longer, maybe, and be like, wow, Elon Musk, Trump, they were phonies, they were fake, they'll be found out. They will. Truth will come out about these people. People will realize who they are. And it may take some time, but it will happen.
And their counsellors have ignored and seemingly protected child abusers in places like Rotherham and Telford. They refuse an inquiry, more worried about the rise of the so-called far right than our kids. People like Naz Shah and Jess Phillips.
However, I think that what I will not let happen is for the far right to use the exploitation of vulnerable girls in this country and what happened in Cologne for their own ends when they've done absolutely nothing about sexual violence and the culture of sexual assault until it fits their purpose.
That's true. That's exactly true. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about the deaths of women. 3 women a week killed by their partners or ex-partners, domestic violence. They don't talk about the epidemic of rape and the very low prosecution rate. They don't talk about how women are impacted only when it's brown people doing it. Again, grooming gangs, white majority. They don't talk about that. Only when it's brown people, Muslims doing it, do they care. So they don't care. So if you only care when certain colour people do it, or ethnicities or religions, you don't care. Again, this guy's somehow a cultural Christian. I'm not sure if he's a Protestant, probably is. Does he comment on what happens in the Catholic Church? I'm sure he doesn't, because he doesn't care. It's only about bashing a certain religion and demographic. He doesn't care about women.
What do they say? All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men or women to do nothing. So
again, completely misreading what she says. She's saying that the far right, she's not going to tolerate the far right exploiting these cases for their own political ends to say, oh, look, Muslims are this way. The essentialist argument, the racist argument that they do this because they're Muslim or because they're brown or because of their culture. When, again, the white majority in the UK, why don't they talk about that? Well, we know why, because they're white.
God bless you and thank you, Elon Musk, friend and saviour of the British people. God bless America, God bless Donald Trump, and God bless Tommy. His time is finally coming. The tide has turned and he simply must be freed. Sit back and prepare for a political revolution like you've never seen before.
Again, very fascist rhetoric. The idea of a revolution against the revolution, a revolution against the woke and progressives, and, you know, all this trans ideology that's gone too far. So this is going to be potentially a big problem for Farage, because Farage is trying to distance himself from Tommy Robinson because he's unequivocally far right. How is he going to do that against Elon Musk? That's more interesting because, again, unequivocally far right. Again, links to a big signal booster of Nazi accounts on X. How is Farage going to negotiate this?
Look, are you going to shut up or just go out? Do you want to come up here and speak? Do you want to come up? Just this week, just...
The pay rise, you've got that. The pay rise you've been
haven't
offered.
got a pay rise. It's a real terms pay cut.
Offered is more than what nurses are getting. It's more than
nurses,
3%.
Nurses deserve far more than what they're getting.
For family members, bonuses worth hundreds of pounds.
No,
not good enough.
They have to cut 400 million out of their operational expenditure, thanks to Grant Shapps. So they're slashing 1/3 of the entire maintenance frontline workforce. They're cutting maintenance schedules in half. This is the infrastructure you'll be travelling on. That's what they're doing to slash money out, and they want us to accept that. And if we do that, as a reward, they're going to offer us a real terms pay cut. That is not acceptable. If workers' wages are not keeping up with inflation, they are going to be made poorer. That is not a pay rise, that is a pay cut. We're not going to have it.
Workers' pay rises cannot keep up with inflation if you're not to have a wage price spiral. Well, you know that. It's got to be below inflation.
That's absolute rubbish. What's caused inflation is the shock of the supply chains from the global health emergency and rampant profits. 73% profits are up since 2019. Pay at the top is going through the roof.
That. What I'm
no
saying
one's worried
is
about pay at the top, Anne.
You cannot match inflation with pay. I've just explained, because then you get into the wage price spiral. Then you get into the wage price spiral.
But people at the top are all right. Their profits can carry on going through the roof. For 30 years in this country, wages have not kept up with inflation. At the same time, profits have rarely not exceeded inflation.
You tell me.
There has been a transfer of wealth from working class people to people at the top, and that can't carry on. That has got to change.
Pay rise.
Listen, it's not a pay rise, it's a pay cut. If you're being offered an increase that is below inflation, it is a real terms pay cut. You will be poorer in regards to where prices are going.
You're talking about the cost of living crisis.
I am.
Reportedly, an offer of £900 as a bonus has been offered.
It's been offered as a bribe to our members not to take...
Would that not help?
Of course it'd help,
so
but it's not enough.
Are you helping your members by
This is about, look, this is about more than money,
generous.
as I've told you. It's not generous. How is that generous?
£900 going towards paying energy bills.
£900 towards energy bills that are going to be £3,200 at the end of the year.
Getting that.
And what about the energy companies? They're all right to keep ripping the country off as long as we get 900 quid. And that doesn't work for us.
If you ask for more and you get more, surely again that will increase further in terms of when it comes to rail prices and fair prices.
How will that increase rail prices? The government's policy is to put fares up every year by the retail price index, irrespective of what we get in pay. That is government policy. Rail prices will go up by inflation every year, and working people are going to be spending 20% of their earnings on travel, 2 months take-home pay on energy bills, and you're telling us we're greedy for looking for a pound note for working class people.
Eddie.
If you're a nurse in London, how do you live on 31 grand? You can't buy a house. You can barely afford to travel.
Offered 4% this
they
year,
should be.
Next year, they would love that. So again,
they should be, and so do postal workers, and so does everyone else in the economy.
Essentially, how can you reject 4% this year, reportedly another 4% next year, bonuses of hundreds of pounds, your family members are going to get discounts?
We've got to stop with this moralistic rubbish about poor commuters and they're not getting a pay rise.
Yeah, well,
if you had any kind of moral compass, you would be outraged at the state of wages and the standard of living for the majority of people in this country. And you would be condemning the profiteers who've been robbing this country blind for years. But instead, you're saying commuters are having a hard time getting to work. Commuters are having a hard time getting to work when we're not on strike, because they're forking out big chunks of their wages to get to work on an overpriced railway so people can get profit out of it. And then they're going to have to spend more money on energy prices. They've had their wages kept low artificially by government policy. 4 years. We've had 12 years of a pay cap in the public sector. We've had wages falling for 30 years. And you're telling me that people are finding it hard going to work when we're on strike. They're finding it hard every day of the year. And that is because they're poorer now than they were 30 years ago.
It's the height of the summer holidays. Are you going to have people travelling, families wanting to go away, had a very difficult couple of years, wanting to go away, and you're going to impact that as well?
Well, we've all got these issues, haven't we? Everybody in the country wants to do something nice during the summer. But the blame needs to be laid squarely at the feet of the people who've caused this dispute. My members, some of them are in the third year of a pay freeze. We're being told that we're going to lose our jobs, we've got to face a form of fire and rehire, and we're going to have a below-inflation pay rise. Now, how does that work out? My people are fighting to keep the shoes on their kids' feet and the roofs over their heads. And we think other working-class people in this country should be doing the same thing. So that's where the sympathy should lie.
Are you also against the change to working conditions, such as working weekends, Sundays, the breaks that train drivers and rail workers, are offered or can have right now, and there's calls to change that
I don't know if you've noticed, but the trains run on the weekends, and they have done forever. It's an absolute red herring.
You get more money for doing that?
Of course, we get more money for working overtime, but not when it's a normal shift, no.
So on a Sunday...
Is that outrageous?
Hours? No, it's not outrageous at all.
Absolutely.
OK.
So look, here's the thing. Wages need to go up in this country. They've been falling for 30 years, and at the same time, profits have been skyrocketing. That is a transfer of wealth from working people to private profits, a lot of it going off to tax havens. We need to rebalance the economy in this country. We need to have a country run for the people in it, not for the corporations.
Well, Eddie, you got the support of Tam there. Thank you very much for your call. Let's speak to Sandra, calling from the West Midlands. Sandra, do you think union bosses are being greedy? Sandra? Oh, we don't have Sandra. OK, let's speak to Brian, shall we? Brian, you're calling from Lancaster. What do you feel about union bosses calling on this strike?
Good morning to the panel. Myself, I am a railway worker. I'm a member of the RMT, and I agree with absolutely everything that Eddie said. A couple of points I would like to make and questions that never seem to be asked are, first of all, Anne, members of the RMT are not on £45,000 a year. That's if you're including the drivers.
No, it's not.
Average rail workers, including drivers. I'm not a driver. I'm a member of the RMT. Drivers are not members of the RMT. Also, during the pandemic, the railways were given, I believe it was £325 million for a bailout. Company I work for, they were in the whole £250 million and kept the £75 million as their profit. Surely that should go back to the government. And thirdly, why does it have to be the workers that make the cutbacks? Why do the workers have to save the money? During the pandemic, all of the management got their quarterly bonus, they got their annual bonus, and our managing director gave himself somewhere between a £30,000 and £89,000 a year pay rise. Yeah. Why do the workers have to struggle?
But Brian, equally, why?
Capitalism requires
you make?
See you next time on the back here. See you next time. See you